Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon. Today I'm going to be showing off the storage solution that I have come up with for Anachrony plus fractures of time. Now, the reason why I have gone ahead and done both of these at the same time is because for the most part my channel focuses on solo play. And really, to get the most out of Anachrony, you need fractures of time. Otherwise, you're going to either be doing like a print and play, which is available from the original Chronobot, or you essentially are buying Anachrony for multiplayer, and this is all you want. But I'm pretty sure that what I have set up here, you could make work using these materials. You could fit everything that comes in Anachrony in the Anachrony box. Plus, it makes it much easier to set up, have the things out during the game, and then store away. Now, the title of my video that I finally admit defeat is simply the fact that what I really wanted to do with these two boxes, I was not able to do. Obviously, there's no way I'm fitting both contents of these boxes into one. They're just not deep enough. They are very low profile boxes. And on top of that, not on top of that, what I really wanted to do was to put everything for kind of standard solo play Anachrony into the Essential Edition box, and then all of the expansion stuff into the Fractures of Time box. So what I wanted to get into here was everything that I would need to play solo, including each of the factions and the solo AI, the Chronobots and Chronosaurus. Then over here, I would have had the miniatures and all the Fractures of Time stuff, and that was mainly it, because I don't even know if you come with expansions in the Essential Edition, but anyways, it didn't quite work out that way. So why I am admitting defeat is that I am going to have to continue to get both of these boxes out when I want to play. Open them both up, pull out a few things, but for the most part, I only have to pull out a few things out of this box, and then I can set it off to the side. And most everything will come out of this box. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got here. So this is, for the most part, there is like the tiniest amount of box lift that it's almost imperceptible here. And really, it's just right here in this corner. So what's right here, and again, I could probably break this down by simply taking the fraction, and I might do this actually, taking the Fractures of Time cards, these full-size cards that are meant to be played with the expansion, take these out, and then the only thing you would have left in here are basically the kind of leader cards, and then the reference cards, those larger side tiles, and then the reference tile for the solo AI. So that would thin that down. Then we have the rule book, just one rule book on this one. And then we have this a huge mixture of a lot of different stuff going on. Another thing that I wasn't a super fan of is that I'm going to have to be storing these games on their side. I just don't feel like I could. Maybe I could store them down, but I feel like there's just too much is going to be going on. So this, the way I have this set up right here, created this nice flat area. And so then what you're seeing here is a whole bunch of these size boxes, the same box but in a square size here, and then my 3XL Snap Saver, I forget what this is called, but I use these a lot in a lot of my storage solution videos. This contains all of the essentially all of the worker tokens, the energy tokens that you need to get your bots working, and these are the flux tokens that you need for Fractures in Time, and then the additional workers that come with Fractures of Time. So this can easily just be popped open, set off to the side. If you're only playing with the main game, you only pop open the center ones. So this just tucks in there. Everything is super squeezed in there, but it all fits. There's no box stretch or anything like that. So again, another thing that I'm not super big fan about is that to get all this in there was kind of a puzzle, because these are slightly different widths than these. They are the same height though, so it does create this nice flat surface like right around here. But I have all of my mining cubes here, all of my water crystals here along with the dice, and then my 5-point and my 1-point victory markers. Those are what make up the square boxes. So let's take all those out. All right, now what I really like about these is that essentially everything you need for an individual faction is in this container. It contains, these are just big enough to fit the flag, your like first player flag. But also what I've gone ahead and done is given everybody 3 anomaly tokens, because you're never going to need more than 3. Technically, you probably only need 2. But you can see here that once you gain 3, you're pushing along. So I went ahead and divided those out. I gave everyone all their, basically all of their specific stuff. Everybody's got, the trackers for the timeline tracker, and just basically everything you need is in one of these boxes. So for me, when I'm sitting down to play, I'm like, okay, I'll play with the yellow faction today, and the Chronobot and Chronosaurus has its own faction. What I found is that between Fractures of Time and the main box, they shorted me 2 of the triangle anomaly symbols, but yet they had all these blank ones that they could have thrown in some extra ones. So the Chronobot gets some blank ones, which it really doesn't care. I'll know what they're there for. But I thought that odd. That why didn't they just go ahead and throw those? Maybe someday down the road I'll take the time to color those with yellow triangles. But and then what's underneath here is pretty self-explanatory. You've got the player boards along with the solo AI board on the bottom, because they are pretty much the full size of the box. I've got these all just stacked up right there. You could see that they fit just nicely right in there. These were sitting over there. And then the main board was right here. And these are all the small Euro size cards that you need to play the game. So again, it's not super ideal, because what you end up doing is having this kind of weird hodgepodge of basically you have to keep doing this, stacking the squares opposite each other, and one like that. But it all works. Everything's in there nice and flat. It all comes out pretty easily. Unfortunately, you do have to basically pull everything out to get to the boards underneath, but I guess I don't know if it would really work if you put all this down first and then put the boards on top. But there's that. These don't quite come up to this, so if you just take your score pad, pop it in there, it creates a nice flat surface for this. This isn't really going to move around much. It kind of holds up against that, and that's it. Throw the rule book in. Like I said, I will probably get a new bag for that. But that is the Essential Editions box. What's over here is much more simplified. So here we have the instruction manuals on top. We have the kind of main board that is added if you are playing with Fractures in Time. So again, sitting on top. And then this is, I'm not a super fan of like these just sitting out like this, and this is one of the pieces that you're going to have to pull out to play the main game. It just is what it is. I couldn't get these. I could have thrown them in over there, but they fit better over here. I feel like they're not going to get messed up. They would have just been sliding around over in that box. So those are sitting up on top of that. These are for the Fractures of Time expansion only, along with these. I threw these few things down first here just because there's a little bit of difference here. Not much, but just by simply throwing this hardly adds anything, but throwing those down creates just a little bit more surface. So then what we have here is the crux of what I was attempting to do, and that is I knew I wasn't going to get the miniatures into that box, and I couldn't fit them into anything like this, so I'm just keeping them in there to keep them safe. And I plan on just using these miniatures for whatever faction I'm playing with. I don't care that the bases are all purple. So what's in here is essentially what I wanted to do was have this be all of the expansion stuff. So you know, you can see the flux or fractures tokens here. These technically could go into the individual faction containers, but the research tokens are right here. The city tile tokens that you put on once the meteor has exploded are right here. So you're going to have to pull those out. And then these are all the buildings. Now right now I've kept out the fractures of time buildings that are meant to be replacement buildings, plus these are the there's an expansion that has to do with anomalies. Those specific tiles are over here. But so you're going to have to pull this out. You're going to have to open this up and pull a few things out. And you're going to have to pull this out. Like I said, it's not perfect. If I really wanted to, I could probably figure out a way to like pull out the expansion faction out of here to get this in and these, and it just, but again, it just wasn't worth it. I figured that a lot of people are going to be purchasing both of these together. We'll have both boxes, and this all seems to work well in combination with each other. So I will put a link in the description below for all of these individual things that I have used, and you know, so that you can figure out how to make those yourself, make this setup yourself. But otherwise, that's it. That is my storage solution for Anachrony plus the Fractures in Time box. There you go. There's a little bit more lid lift in this one than the other one, simply because right about now we're perfectly level with the top. So it's the thickness of the instruction manuals that raises it up. If I take out these cards, I can probably put all 3 instruction manuals in this box, and everything will be copacetic. So, all right, but that's it. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to be part of more videos like this in the future, please consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.